the broadcast. Thought I'd kind of show you the weather here. It's not cold. It's actually about, oh gosh, what's the temperature today? About 75 degrees, 5-mile-an-hour winds from the east northeast. Well, come on, let's go check out Times Square. So we got some wire hazards here. Let's watch all these people get through. Ah! Thanks for the thumbs up, you guys. Appreciate it. You know, appreciate the support, but I don't really put much value on that. You guys know that, for those of you who've been around for a while. There's only a handful, because it's really kind of a selective audience if you think about it. I mean, most people that come on YouTube come on here because they want you to watch their shit. I come on there because I got something to tell you. A lot of times you don't want to hear what I have to say because it has to do with diet, it has to do with like what you're eating, and usually you're eating the wrong thing, or it has to do with like something about Vegas because, you know, I know stuff that you guys don't know because I have contacts and I hear things, and so I share that stuff with you guys. Again, not for the views, because I want to tell you. So later on, you guys go back, and go, okay, cool. I knew that, or I know that, or whatever. Not sure why I do it. It's just kind of in my nature. If that makes any sense. So, as a result, if you watch the other channels, a lot of times they'll put things on that are really, what do you call it? Boring. They kind of draw it out because they have like one thing they want to tell you. This person reminds me of my sister. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. I had to switch over because that guy was, can you see that? I was like, okay, who is that guy? So I had to get a photo. But of course, by the time I got the photo, and by the time I flipped it over, he already moved because I made him feel uncomfortable. People kind of always get it, even when they're not looking, it's weird how they kind of know you're taking their photo. So as a photographer, you have to be very aware because I want to catch them candidly. And not everyone, most people don't really care you take their photos, some people do, but for the most part what happens is they just ham up. They just change what they were doing that I like. So what I'll do a lot of times is you have to be very, very quick. Unless they're a professional, in which case, if they're a professional model, then they know, then they'll strike a pose for you. So as you guys can see, the energy is definitely back here in New York City. I mean, it never really probably left. We just got here after the pandemic, and it kind of always seems to be kind of going on. These guys are just doing their thing. So this is the Hard Rock down at Times Square. Hey, thanks for the thumbs up, you guys. Thanks for watching. Oh, here come police officers. Let's see if they're gonna say something. Let's go see if they harass the street performer because they're blocking traffic here. And no, they're not going to. And that's just kind of one of the things a little different down here than other places is that, I guess, hi David, how are you? New York City people just kind of, I guess, they're more adult. So As long as you're not hurting anybody or doing anything really outrageous, cops aren't going to give you too much of a hassle. But other places, it seems like the cops kind of go out of their way to kind of like find stuff. And by other places, I mean Las Vegas. Post 2017, Las Vegas's attitude had changed. Instead of being this kind of this party town, they went like terrorism status, but they didn't really tell anybody. They just kind of act like everything is normal, but there's just a lot of cops there, so all the locals and everything just got really like conservative. You know, they started passing really conservative laws, like 8th Amendment of the United States Constitution. So things like that cause sort of this underlying sort of thing that kind of happened in Las Vegas. It causes a rift. So it looks like they got some new fancy shoe coming out today or something. Thanks for the thumbs up, you guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. So what happened after 2017, Vegas took a real dive. If you remember or recovery, anything. You guys all know the one thing you want to do if you're trying to recover is what? You want to talk about, because once you get out there, kind of really want people to remember. You know how like in New York, after 9/11, it was all about, hey man, we're never going to forget this. Remember that? Well, that wasn't really the attitude in Vegas. It was kind of like, let's hurry up and have everybody forget this so that we can keep moving our stadium forward and keep getting the people there, because everybody was relying upon the casinos and the businesses to succeed for them to make money. If the casinos failed, everyone is going to hurt in Vegas. So everyone had a single focus. Whether they knew it or not, they were all biased. They all wanted Vegas to be. You don't mention, you just don't, as a habit. You don't mention bad things. And what happened was, they just kind of swept it under the rug, which is all very, very different than yeah, no, I think we have a little bad internet connection here. When I come around Times Square, they've got a lot of cellular stuff going on around here, so we may get shorted out. So basically what I was saying earlier was that I was here after 9/11, and I was also in Vegas during October 1. So I know how different cities handle tragedies differently, and how Las Vegas handled their tragedy was very different than New York City. New York City, man, it shut down. I mean, it was like the whole year. I mean, I was in, if you guys know, I did software sales for banks, financial services.
Don't pay. I said, but we bought the truck.
So
you can't get any more full than only the truck.
What I was hearing from every bank, from every financial service, what I was hearing from everybody was that there were no more projects going on. That we're not doing anything this year. I mean, it's just done. I mean, there was nothing. So they just completely shut down. Now, in Las Vegas, on the other hand, nothing shut down. In fact, they actually acted like everything, I mean, they made it more of a point that everything was more better than before. Like, oh, that's not going to stop us. And they took on this attitude of Vegas strong, which Vegas strong was reserved for Boston strong, because that was a terrorist strike against the Bostonian way of life, which was they were doing a marathon. And so Boston strong meant, hey, you know, they attacked us, right? See, and Vegas strong was not about anybody attacking Vegas. What happened is a greedy gambler got mad and shot a bunch of Trumpers with the intention to destroy Vegas. That was his goal. He wanted to destroy MGM. And guess what happened? Hell yeah. After 2017, MGM devised a plan called MGM 2020. And that was the one that was going to revitalize, because they were done. Mandalay Bay was done. It was done. Over. No one was staying there. It was empty. You guys don't remember that. They shut it down. It never really recovered. It never really reopened. No one stays at Mandalay Bay anymore. Unless they're just really just cheap, you know? I mean, it's just like... Anyways, it doesn't matter, because they sold it. And they sold the Bellagio. And they sold the Aria. And they sold the Circus. And they sold the Delana. And what else they sell? They're selling them all. But they're not letting anybody know. So you have to ask yourself, hey, if Las Vegas is working so hard, if Las Vegas is doing so great, why is it that MGM sold every single one of... Jeez, and what the hell is that, man? Shit. Holy cow. I did not even see that. I was like, I thought it was your shirt and then it was moving. Whoa, that was a good one. That was pretty funny. Oh, check it out, man. I don't love these advertisements here. Doesn't everybody love these things? So when they say Vegas has come back, and you guys see people talking about that, and the reason why I bring it up is, again, it's not the popular thing to say. I'm not saying... Now, I love Las Vegas, so I don't want you know, when I say... Well, let's put it this way. Why am I in New York City? Why did Las Vegas... Why is MGM continuing to sell there? But Caesars is selling. MGM's selling. The only person that... You remember, yeah. Like, I wonder what that is up there. What do you guys suppose that is? I'm back. I just had to take a couple photos. So what do we have on Broadway today? We got The Fall. Got Harry Potter over here. And A Cursed Child. Okay, she'll... So yeah, so okay. Anyways, back to what we were talking about. What were we talking about, guys? So I just got really stoned. That lizard got me stoned. So there's a Paramount building. I just signed up for Paramount TV, Paramount Plus. I got it through my Apple TV, and so far it's pretty slick. I was a little bummed because I had it before for a deal from Apple, but I didn't have the direct app. I had to use, so in other words, I couldn't get the Big Brother live feeds. Thank you for the up hearts. I really appreciate that. Again, like I was saying, I don't do this. We don't do these blogs. We don't do these things for the ticks and up hearts. We do it because we have something to say. We have something we want to tell you. And a lot of times you don't want to hear it, and that's fine. And a lot of times, who wants to be told anything? So like weed's like legal now. So check it out. So I can smoke weed in the streets, I think. I'm hoping so. This is what I've heard. Because there's a lot of cops around here. So if it's not the case, I'll find out. But yeah, apparently it completely You know what though? But I still get nervous. I don't know why. I still get nervous when I see them. I'm smoking right in front of them, right? I know that, and they're everywhere. But I still get a little nervous. I feel like they're gonna be like, oh, there's no smoking on this block, or get me for like littering or something, and then I get a fucking ticket. That's what I feel like would happen. So yeah, anyways, this all kind of leads up to like how like they're really just kind of pumping up like the Resorts World thing right now and talking about how great that business is. But the fact is, if people don't keep coming to Vegas, then what happens is that stadium is going to drain the general fund of Clark County. Do you guys get that? All that lead up was to explain to you that if Las Vegas doesn't get tourists to keep coming in and paying the hotel tax, then what's going to happen is that the Al Giant Stadium is going to drain the Clark County general fund. Cops in school, that's kind of a big deal. So everybody is on board to make sure you guys all come to Vegas. And I'm not saying that's good or bad, but I'm just saying that's might be slightly biased though, because they have no other choice other than to have you come to Vegas and buy their houses. The other thing is, there's this talk about like this water shortage. You hear about once every few weeks, but that's going to affect Las Vegas. It's going to affect homeowners, it's going to affect a lot of people. And they continue to expand, continue to sell houses. So you've got the water shortage, one. Two, you've got the economic decline, the tourism decline. Those are the big deals. So anyways, that's a little report here about Las Vegas from Times Square. and New York City. We'll check you guys out later.